Greetings, everyone. I am Jane Reed. I am the program director for the nurse midwifery program here at Bethel University, and I wanted to just do a welcome video for our new students that are coming in this fall, but then realize also that some students that have been in our program for 2 or 3 years might also listen to this because this is going to be posted on our resource page. So welcome. We're just delighted that you guys are here. I have about 5 different kind of bullet points that I wanted to just mention in this video and let you know that we're really excited and looking forward to getting to know each one of you. So first things first, I think we all realize that the current world that we live in is quite unpredictable and seems to be a little bit in turmoil. And I guess the one thing that I know as I think about our program and our students and even the profession that I currently work in, midwifery is needed more than ever. And now is the time to become a nurse midwife. I think that this is the one profession that celebrates diversity, and I love diversity within my practice. It keeps me on my toes. It helps me really live out the midwifery mission where we want to be with women and we want to meet women where they're at and help them optimize their health. And so now's the time for midwives to be in the front line and celebrate that diversity and help the people that we take care of become all that they need and want to be. Another thing about midwifery that I think really we can celebrate in the midst of really some unfortunate circumstances is out-of-hospital birth is finally becoming recognized as a safe option for really all low-risk women to deliver within. So that's exciting as our students entered their last semester, our graduates this past spring. They got about halfway through the program, or the semester, excuse me, and this pandemic happened, and many of them were only halfway through their clinical semester and really needed to have about 200 more hours of clinical in order to graduate. And we found that many out-of-hospital birth settings were really asking for our students because they wanted that student that was competent, really ready to graduate, just needed a few more hours, and that gave them the opportunity then to become the leader within the birth setting. And I'm delighted to say that our students have all graduated from spring. And currently, I think 11 of them have taken their exam and 10 of them have passed. And so it's been a stressful spring for those students and for us as we kind of rolled with all of the uncertainty, but we're really feeling God's blessings as we were able to graduate all 17 of them, and things are looking great. And so if by chance any of our current graduates just are listening to this video, kudos to you because it was a lot of stress and a lot of hard work, but we're just thrilled that you stuck with it and got through. So that's good news, I think, for midwifery in the midst of maybe some uncertain times. And so now's the time to become a midwife. I remember 18 years ago when I started midwifery, I didn't think that midwifery was all that recognized, and I would say that is not the case anymore. We are definitely in the front lines and needed desperately and recognized and appreciated for what we do. So now's the time to become a midwife. A little bit about our program itself. We, I think, are stronger than ever. We started this program with 12 students, and we have grown to over 60. There are 26 incoming students. 16 of them are part-time, 10 of them are full-time. Let's see, like I mentioned earlier, we graduated 17 students. We're kind of stretching into different territories for clinical. And so we really feel blessed and are just delighted that we have just great students in our program, and I think great faculty and staff as well. A little bit about our resource page. If you found this video, you found the resource page. That resource page really serves somewhat like your handbook. On the resource page, there's also the handbook, but many other things that I think you'll find valuable throughout the time that you're here at Bethel University. The resource page, first of all, has the calendars. And those of you who are coming in the 2-year plan of study or the full-time plan of study, you are the MWL cohort. And so if you're ever asked what's your cohort, it's your MWL. Those of you who are in the 3-year plan of study, you're the MWM cohort. And the calendars are identified as such. So MWL is the 2-year plan of study. MWM is the 3-year plan of study. And that calendar is really written out for the entire time that you're at Bethel. And so if you're wondering when semester starts, a year from now, that is going to be on your calendar. So watch those calendars closely, just so you know not all of your classes will start in the beginning of the semester. A couple of your classes start 8 weeks into the semester or 4 weeks into the semester. And so watch your calendars so you know when your courses start. And then on the flip side, not all of your courses will go to the end of the semester. Some of them will finish 4 weeks earlier. So we kind of scaffold our classes throughout the semesters. So that's sometimes a little bit, I guess, confusing or surprising for our students when they first start. So you'll find all of that information on the calendar. So do check that out. Oh, I got a kind of a crazy little hair here. Anyway, let's see a little bit more about the resource page. When you scroll all the way to the end of the resource page, there is our capstone information. We no longer have a capstone handbook. All of our information for the capstone is at the end of that resource page. So I know you're just getting started, and thinking about a capstone is probably really not in the forefront of your mind, and that's totally fine. But when you're ready, all of the information you need to know about your capstone is there. One thing as I think about capstones and maybe writing in general, I just want to point out that we are now in the 7th edition of APA. And so all of our students starting this fall will be required to do 7th edition APA formatting. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you have the resources you need to make sure that you're doing that 7th edition of APA formatting. I think writing challenges are not unusual, especially for students when they're just getting started in the program. And so just know that we recognize that all of you are coming from really lots of different sort of competency levels when it comes to writing. Some of you maybe just are getting out of undergrad and writing isn't all that new to you. Maybe that's going to be something you can come into the program just feeling confident about. And then there's others of you who haven't written a paper probably in 10 or 15 years. And you'll catch on, you'll figure it out. Know that the first semester we really spend, I think, a fair amount of time making sure that you understand APA formatting. And the reason we do that is because we want you to just learn it and then not have to worry about it when you're trying to learn the content that's really important for becoming a nurse midwife. And so we really kind of hammer it out early. So know that you're going to need to know how to APA format. And so know also that we're just going to help you through it and you'll figure it out. Another thing, when you think about forums and maybe even papers, when you're looking at your assignment, make sure that you answer the question in its entirety. And so you might find that some questions have 2 or 3 components to them. Before you push submit, make sure that you've answered all of the components of the question. And then I guess a survival sort of tip that I'd like to give you is start to create a literature library. You'll find that there's certain topics that you're really passionate about. And you're probably going to find a lot of articles on those topics, but you're also going to be asked about topics that maybe you've never heard about. And so make sure that you're saving all of those articles, because it's really great as you're posting in different forums, which almost all of them will require you to post a resource, that you're really current on the literature. And if you start to create your own library, you will become current on some new and great topics around midwifery. And so create that library. You can use that resource, that article over and over again, and so that when you're citing that article in your post, you already know that there were 333 subjects in that study, and that they used this design in the study, and that these were the findings. And you'll soon be current on the literature. So that's exciting. Our library is a wonderful database, and so start digging through that now. You have access to it. Our librarians are fantastic. If you have a topic that you're curious about, and send a little question to our librarian and say, these are the things that I've searched for. I'm having a hard time looking for this, that, or whatever. They really will help you with your search. And so do access the library and use our librarians. I wanted to just talk a little bit about our faculty and our staff. Julianne and Katrina and myself were the kind of founding faculty members for this program, and it has been really exciting over the last 6 years to see this program grow from 12 to over 60 students. We are coming into an accreditation year, so you'll probably hear a lot about just what will the accreditors want to see, what will our self-study need to say, maybe more surveys than ever, just because it's really important for us to get student feedback throughout their time here at Bethel. And so those are the three faculty that kind of started full time here. I think all three of us are very different and unique, and we kind of, I think, have a hidden blessing in that, because we want you to see a lot of different types of midwifery, so that when you graduate from this program, you kind of know the kind of midwife you want to be. And you'll find that your preceptors maybe have a little different style as well. A couple other faculty have joined us since we started, and we're super excited about those faculty members. Renee is a Colorado nurse midwife that works in a birth center over in Colorado. Dawn is our clinical coordinator. She also is a full scope nurse midwife in a rural practice here in Minnesota. Lily is a birth center nurse midwife, has some international experience, and just joined us a couple years ago. I gotta turn my page here for notes. We just hired a couple new folks this past year as our program continues to grow, and Paige Hardy and Dawn Sugg will be joining us this year. Paige is a very experienced nurse midwife in a rural practice, full scope, works with several family practice and nurse practitioner docs, family practice docs and nurse practitioners. I'd say Dawn Sugg and one other faculty member that I haven't mentioned that's been with us for 2 years is Allie Meyer. So Dawn and Allie are our nurse practitioners, and I would say that they are our generalists, primary care experts. And so we really lean on them to bring that primary care well woman component to our practice and to our program. And so Allie teaches teaches our pharmacology class, and then Dawn Sugg is just getting started with us and teaches pathophysiology and will be part of some of our intensives. And so very thrilled to have this great team of advanced practice nurses to help us teach this program. As far as our staff members go, we have 3 people that I think really kind of keep this program going. And Tracy Rudd is our administrative assistant. She's fantastic. She's been in Bethel for so many years that if you ever have a question and you're not really sure who to go to, I would say she can point you in the right direction. So Tracy is fantastic. Sarah Niblink is our clinical coordinator. Sarah Niblink is our lab coordinator, and she will keep all of our intensives running smoothly, order all of our supplies, send you all of your packets that you need throughout your time here. Sarah Niblink really is very instrumental in our time on campus, and so we appreciate Sarah. And then Kelly Boovy is our clinical coordinator, and she and Dawn work together to make sure that all of our contracts and our immunizations and all of our clinical components are in place for our students and for our facilities that we're using for clinical. A little bit of advice that I just want to share with you. I'm sure you'll get lots of advice from lots of different folks, but I think over and over and over again, I have seen that the students that struggle in our program are not the students that maybe have some challenges academically. It's the students that are spread too thin. And so I would really encourage you, as you think about starting this program, to not fill your plate too full, and maybe to find maybe space within your schedules to allow yourself to study, maybe read articles more than one time, read the content more than one time, really become engaged in the forums. Give yourself space. And I think those students that give themselves space succeed. It's not the students that are maybe the 4.0 students that succeed. It's the students that give themselves space in their life to succeed and to really make the program a priority in your life. So that's one thing I would suggest. Another thing I would really suggest you think about and really never lose is that sense of wonder. Birth is a very powerful event. It's a normal event that happens in life, but it's very powerful. And so really, I think savor that power in the room and help women become all that they can be, but also use that power to really appreciate, I think, the honor that it is to be in that room and to be part of that birthday party and to be part of a family's really monumental moment. So don't lose your sense of wonder and enjoy every single one of those births, because they are really the reason we're here. They're absolutely amazing moments in our patients' lives, but also in ours. One thing also, it's really important that as you start graduate school for you to be flexible. I'm quite certain that things will change in your personal life. Things will change in your clinical kind of arrangements. Things will change in your work life as you start this program. And so it's really important that you really are flexible. I think that's part of just kind of keeping your plate open as well. But flexibility is really important, as well as resilience. And so don't give up. Just keep fighting, and you'll find that you'll be successful. And then finally, I just want you to realize that we succeed when you succeed. And so all of our faculty and staff, I think you'll find, are just very committed to ensuring that you become successful in this program, and that you graduate on time and graduate when you want to graduate. And so reach out to us. Sometimes in an online environment, it seems a little bit lonely because you're studying all by yourself at 2 a.m. because that's the time that tends to work for you. And you don't realize that through cyberspace, we're there with you. And I can't think of any time that the faculty and staff in this program have not helped a student when they've reached out to them. And so I really, really, really encourage you not to struggle alone. Reach out to us, lean on us, call us, email us. We want to hear from you, and we want you to be successful. So once again, welcome to Bethel University. Welcome to this really exciting time in your life and in our life as we get to walk alongside you in becoming a nurse midwife. And God bless you. And we're looking forward to getting to know you and seeing you in the online orientation real soon. So take care. Bye-bye.